do. Okay. We're just gonna see how we do. How's it going? What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. We're gonna do paint up some Guild Ball tonight. So hope you guys are ready for another one of these. Wow. And we are just gonna jump right into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how we're doing on our live streaming. Man. And we'll see how we do. I mean, this could be a dead stream tonight. Could be stream bad. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we'll see how we do. How we're gonna do. Okay. So tonight we're painting up some order. You can see I'm color blocking most of them right now. So I've got we have when you're talking about the order guild, you have basically two types of models. Okay, and this is the interesting thing about the guild is you have basically the Sulpicians or really kind of the actual saints of the order, the actual agents of the order, like Benediction here, and their color scheme is very very clean, right? So they have white robes, white and blue robes, and then the blue ribbons, and then this sort of bone filigree that they have in them. So Benny, Grace, veteran Fangtooth, and I guess Seasoned Spigot kind of counts as like a full blown, holy agent, if you will. Whereas if you're talking the rest of the guild, including Brisket, Mist, Seasoned Brisket, Mist, Harry the Hat, they're the mercenary side of the guild. Okay, so the mercenary side doesn't really have they're classic Union miniatures, so they don't really have the armor or that kind of stuff that the regular agents have. Okay, so they're actually going to have a broader color palette because they've got leather gloves and belts, and they if you actually go and look at their art, they're actually much different. Let me show you an example of that. Okay, so if you're looking at the Faithful of Sulpicius, this cover art here, you'll see like Brisket there has got gray and red, right? And so does Mist. If you look there, Mist has gray and red. But then if you look at the other side of this box, you look there, sorry about the price tag, but if you look at Grace there, you can see she's in that like white bone and blue. So, hey, good morning, Zagarls. So it's a bit of a conundrum because it's like, well, do you paint, if I follow the scheme, then I'm going to have half of the models gray and red, and the other half are going to be blue and white. So I talked to the client in this case, and he agreed that we're just going to stick with more of like a pure saintly order appearance here. So that's why I painted, including the mercenaries. Now the mercenaries are still going to get, they're still going to get the browns and the other, parts of their outfits that are more specifically quote unquote mercenary. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So they're still going to get that treatment, but they're also like their main scheme is also still going to fall in line with the rest of the guild here. I personally love that because it's just a better looking guild if you keep the if you really limit the color scheme. I think it looks better overall, right? So I guess tonight what we're going to do is really we're going to finish up a few of the saints, right? So I think that's what I want to do is I want to finish up some of the saints. Now, as far as the basing is concerned, you can see this is pretty unusual for me. I usually stamp bases and, I'm happy doing that. But in this case, the client did not want, they want just regular static grass, which is, if I may say, a little disappointing for me. I find it a little disappointing, but it is what it is. It's what the client wants. It's not what I want. I just feel like it's a shame that we're gonna go through the effort of painting these up to a fun little clean tabletop standard, and to not go in and do a better job on the basing it makes me a little bit sad. I'll get over it though, right? I'll be okay, guys. I'm not gonna be too broken up over it. It's just gonna make me a little bit sad. So right now it's just, and then regarding the ball here, what I'm gonna do is do the main colors of the guild, the blue and the white. And then I think this last bit here will be be like we'll pick like a cold gray color. Maybe somber gray? Somber gray might be nice. Right? Somber gray might be a nice way to finish off the ball there. Let's try it out. What I like about this is we can kind of use the ball as the test pilot here, right? To see if our scheme looks good. What was my idea for order instead of grass? My idea was to do cobblestone, or I was going to do cobblestone, or if they insisted on an outdoor base. Here's what I made up. Here's what I prefer to do. Right, a stamped forest floor here with a tuft. Right, that's nice. It's a nice, clean look. You still get that outdoor appearance, and I think it looks great. I've done it on farmers, hunters, falconers. I've done that. What I've been asked to go with is like that. Just your standard grass, and yeah, just makes me a little bit sad. But it's okay. You could do. Here was another thing that I showed too. Is like, and it doesn't have to be, the tiles don't have to be this color, but like a flagstone. You know what I mean? To give the, I like, and for my order guild, I did something similar to this. Like I did a flagstone style base. I really like that for order. I did it for order, and I did it for um my alchemist as well, and I was pretty happy with it. So okay, so we're gonna just kind of, there's like four of these we can, or three of these we can finish, maybe four, and it'd be nice to do four, and then just kind of be able to come back in and take care of the mercenary side of it. So we're gonna go. Should I go bone white? Bone white's nice. Let's go bone white. We're gonna go bone white on this filigree. We're gonna do highlight the filigree a little bit, and then just a regular white highlight. We'll go. That's a little too dark, I think. Prefer it to be lighter than that. Well, let's try it. Let's see. Maybe it's. I think it should be off white, but maybe that's the wrong. I think if you're gonna do it, I think this bone white is too close to. Let's see. So I'm just gonna pick this edge here. Yeah, it's too close. You can't really see it. And that's not really what I want anyway. It's close. It's close to what I want. But you know, I want certain bits of the filigree to kind of pop. So I better just go off-white. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight, as you can see, we're working on an order guild. And like I said, I wish we landed on a different basing option here, but it's not going to look bad. It's just I was hoping for something different. That's all. I'll shut up now. It's okay. It'll be fine. I just have to find my stupid off-white. This commission is taking longer than it normally does, and that's because I've been sick, and so I'm going slower than I normally would. And I just keep pulling up the same color no matter what. Ugh. Just give me an off-white, man. How hard is this? Every white I pull up is the wrong white. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe I'm not supposed to do off-white. Of course I'm supposed to do off-white. The bone white's just too dark. I know I got off-white here. Sorry, guys. I know this is riveting stuff right now. Hearing me shuffle through my paints angrily. It's good stuff. But I had like 3 bottles of off-white. This is kind of ridiculous. Like, this is kind of dumb. Come on, off-white. Don't have tears off-white. Hope this works. All right. We're going to mix up some off-white. And it is very white. All right. And then, like I said, we're going to use a cleaner white to kind of highlight the white cloak. Okay. So here we go. So this off-white, I'm going to pick very specific spots. I'm not going to do the entire filigree. I'm just looking for spots, right? The highest points, really. And then you want this on the face too. Benny has got to be one of my favorite miniatures in all of Guild Ball. Love the miniature. He never really made my teams much, which is probably a mistake. I know a lot of a lot of Rage players for Union swear by Benny. So he makes a fair bit of squads there. He just, for me, you know, I played, all my Union teams were mainly Blackheart teams, and he didn't shine as much on a Blackheart team. So he didn't get much play for me. I'd still field him from time to time just because I love the miniature. And that's probably one of my downfalls with Guild Ball is like I'm still gonna field the pieces that I really like, even though like logically you're like, it's probably not the best choice into this matchup or that matchup. And I'm like, well, but I really like the miniature. Like we were talking about this today with navigators, right? I don't know if I'm actually going to play navigators, but um, I really, and I mean, I really love that angel model with the tricorn hat. So it's like I need to play that model with the tricorn hat. I'm going to play if I do play navigators. I'm just going to count right now. I'm going to count Angel being on my team, which means then you're going to play Fathom, right? Because you want linked, and then if you're going to play them on the uh, on a fish team, now you're going to want Salt. Um, so it ends up making a bunch of decisions for you, not necessarily decisions about you know building a good team. A lot of times it's just decisions on like stuff I'm going to be very happy painting and seeing on the board. So take that for what you will. I mean, that's part of the reason why I got so big into Midas last season and playing Midas was, I liked him. I liked his miniature better than Smoke. Actually like the character better than Smoke too. I like the character in the fluff. Midas is just kind of this pompous jerk, this like conceited showboat guy, and I don't know. I just like that character. And so even like season 4 comes out and I'm running around as a Midas player. I'm running around telling people, including Steamforged, that I felt like Midas got nerfed, even though, a lot of people thought he got buffed. But even then, it's like, well, a lot of people like, well, why don't you just play Smoke? Play Smoke. She's better, right? And I can logically see that Smoke is better in more situations. You know, I maintain, and one of the things I've learned by sticking with Midas is I have learned that, and I play a little bit of Smoke from time to time now, but I've learned that Midas still has his spots, right? There's still matchups that you want to run Midas in, even though you can't. I feel like you can make an argument that he may be currently the worst captain in the game. Right there with Grange and some of those other pieces as well. And that's nice. I like that. That's nice. Let's I'm gonna punch up that filigree a little bit more. All right, punch up the edges of the filigree. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Okay. This guy is very close to being done just because he doesn't have, color-wise, he doesn't have much on him. He's just sort of the two colors. All right, so now I'm going to use so I'm going to mix up white. So we're just going to see how many of these we can finish tonight. I won't be able to finish the whole team tonight because I'm not going to. All right. So sometimes if I get close enough, I push and I'll paint a little bit longer than, say, 90 minutes, 2 hours. Like, if I'm close enough, I do that, but I can't afford to do that lately. I'm too sick. This flu has really kicked my ass, and I'm not, I need to be I need to be sharp for work. So I've been going to bed earlier, been turning the camera on less. But I promise you guys, I promise that will change, okay? So I start to get better, we're going to go back to our very, very active upload schedule on this channel. And then regarding Twitch, I don't know. I really don't. Twitch has not been, I don't know, just hasn't been very hospitable to me of late. So I'm seriously considering, going into this next year, maybe we end the Twitch experiment, right? Maybe we just come back to YouTube, call it home, and be happy. And then I don't have to deal with being a Twitch affiliate. YouTube can come along and they can ban me at any point. But I'm willing to take that risk just because, we're a small little island here on YouTube and on Twitch. And yeah, I get opinionated at times and I blow up and I do a rant at times. I think that's part of the reason why people watch me. But I'm not a big enough target, right? It would take a particularly spiteful, petty person to try to shut me down on YouTube. I'm not saying you're not out there. I'm sure you're out there, whoever you are. But I just don't care as much, right? Like whoever is out, like, oh, he's an offensive miniature painter. Somebody's out there like really, really all about that. Well, congratulations, buddy. So now you can see he's getting quite a bit more character. And then we're gonna do an edge highlight on the blade. Right? This is where you gotta be a little bit delicate when you're doing this kind of work. You're just trying to catch an edge. Right? There we go. Right? And it's just that little ding, you know what I mean? Just that little edge there that kind of drives the appearance home. There we go. Like Benny is like the coolest model in the whole range, and he's the easiest one to paint. Right? And so one of the other things I'm going to do here with Benny before we switch over to we're going to do Grace as well, is I'm going to paint this whole base a brown color just so that when we do the flock. The spots that we miss will look like earth. Just a good idea to do that. Okay. And we can also use this brown for other stuff too, so. So I might jump around a little bit in the painting. Okay. So man, I am not looking forward to flocking this. I just think it's a mistake, man. Let's do a better. I hate that I had to use the metal tab. I always take the miniatures off the metal tab, pin them into the base that I want that I've stamped. I don't know. I mean, the upside to this is the piece itself is much more stable, right? I guess that's an upside to this. Let's go ahead and paint Grace's basin. So yeah, we got one really, really shitty week left to work. This is the week, because it's the week before the holiday. Everybody's trying to get all of their work done before the holiday. And in particular, the week started off at a reasonable pace, and then they decided, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and cram all of the work here into Thursday. So tomorrow being Thursday for me, I have a very long day at work. Everybody and their mom, like, I got an idea, and they're all going to try to get it all done tomorrow at work. You bastards. Right? That's what I have to say about that. You bastards. We're going to paint Pride's mane here. So another issue I'm going to have is I'm going to have to do that flocking last. I'm going to have to. It's even harder than had I just gone ahead and stamped everything and pinned it all in. Because I could, man, I could knock all that out tonight. Right, all the painting and all that could be done tonight. But no. I always got a bitch about something, though. I always get a bitch about something my clients want. It could have been worse. It could have been a rebuild. I hate those. It's like some gamers will build their miniatures. They build their minis out, and then they decide down the line, like, oh, hey, I want to get these painted. And they give them to you, and they're like, hey, I helped you because I built them. And you're like me, and you're like, well, you didn't pin anything. Use the tab. I want to do custom basing. You didn't help me. Right? You actually made my job harder. because now I got to go in, rip them all out of the basing that you slotted them in, clip the slots off, build new bases, put them on the new bases. You know what I mean? Always gotta bitch about something, okay, man. That is me. If this is the first you're hearing about me bitching about stuff, well, welcome to this channel. Cool. So Pride's looking pretty good. So I'm going to paint all this brown in right now. Yeah, it's going to suck to like have to use like a watered down PVA. It's a good versatile brown though, I'll say that. I can use this for my belts. I can use this for Harry's hair. I'll use it for Spigot. It's also a very good choice. I could use it for Mist's. Wait. We'll use it for Mist's staff here. So this set comes with chicken mist. It doesn't come with LE mist. And I pretty much hate chicken mist as a sculpt. I think it's terrible. But it's not the end of the world. Still looks okay. It's just such a weird scale. Chicken Mist doesn't actually have too much to his color scheme, right? He can. We might actually be able to finish him tonight, because the only thing I'm gonna do is paint his gloves. Other than highlight him, I'm gonna paint his gloves and his boots that black color. Black gray, I should say. Right. So maybe Mist gets done tonight. And then you got Seasoned Spigot. One of my favorite set of rules for the order. Seasoned Spigot is a beast, man. He's got shove the boot in, 4-8 kick. He's got a heroic to call a ball from 6 off of friendly. He's got not well, he doesn't have shove the boot in, sorry, he has floored. He has floored close control and balls gone on 2. Like, this guy's a freaking beast, man. Like, he is just a certified badass. This Spigot, I believe, has brown hair. So a little brown, a little patch of brown hair up here, top. Right. There's a little mustache. He's got a little mustache and he also has these like He has the whole like sideburn growing into the mustache. Cool, cool. And I believe Harry has. I think he has a. I think Harry has a black. Yeah, he has. Well, let's paint it brown for now, though. There you go. Oops. Let's get. Here is another one of my favorite sculpts in the whole thing. V Fangtooth. So just a beast. Love V Fangtooth. He is a certified badass. This guy like did a number in the season 4 fluff. This guy just completely tears Venom to shreds. Just beats him into a bloody pulp. He doesn't kill him. He doesn't kill him, right? He just makes his passing painful. So, spoiler alert, you don't want to hear about season 4 fluff. I was going to explain a little bit about what's going on in season 4. So, if you don't want to hear it, tune out for a little bit. So that was your warning. So yeah, Fangtooth thrashes the hell out of Venom, but does not kill Venom. You know, the person who kills Venom is Grace. So that's kind of wild. Grace is the one that actually dispatches of Venom. All right. Okay. You got that. So looking pretty good so far. So let's work on Grace the Lion and and V Fangtooth. Let's work on these guys. Again, mainly because it's just a more limited color palette. So it's easier to finish these guys. Oh shoot. Actually, one thing I will have to do for Fangtooth though is I do have to paint in his belt. Minor annoyance here. Should actually be a black belt. Eh, it's okay. Ugh. Okay, gonna have to come back and fix that. So I'm not so sure how I feel about that. Hold on. Okay. You know, the way his robes are, it's like I'm thinking, toga, toga. For you fans of Animal House. Anyone old enough to remember that movie? All right. Let us get to the highlighting. Okay. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Just know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're painting Guild Ball Order. And we're doing some of the fun stuff, right? We're working on the cool bone armor, filigree, getting it all highlighted up, making it look cool. This is what we want. Get to this part, because the other parts of painting are not as fun, right? All the color blocking, especially white armor, suck, right? If you're gonna do white as one of the main colors on any kind of color scheme, it can suck. It can be not fun. Sorry, need to prop that up a little bit. You can see what's going on there. Kind of miss my order team. I do and I don't. Season 4 for me has been like absolutely having so much fun playing alchemists. It was like I almost when I play my the other guild I've been focusing on this season, which has been engineers, because I'm all about STEM this season. When I get to them, it's like yeah, they're okay, but I feel like I feel like I after a game with engineers, I'm like, oh man, wouldn't that 90 minutes have been better spent playing alchemists? Win or lose, actually. I just find their playstyle that much more um, uh, entertaining. All the little, um, you know, that whole mini game of conditions, spreading conditions, and then spending them to do cool shit. Like, I am all about that, man. That's awesome. So, I hope you guys are painting, or at least thinking about what you should be painting, right? If you're watching this program, you're watching this stream, and you're a miniatures gamer, which I hope you are, then chances are there's something you should be painting right now, right? There's something you should be painting right now because it goes without say, the miniature gamers and almost all of us, not maybe not 100%, but maybe 99.9998% of all miniatures gamers have pieces that they have not built, miniatures they have not built or painted. You know, I include myself there. I include myself there. There have been times, and they're rare. These are rare occasions, but there have been times in my past where my painting table is completely clear, and there's nothing left for me to paint. That's probably happened maybe 6 or 7 times in the 27 years I've been playing miniature games, I would say, right? It's probably true. Yeah, I would say that. I'd say about 6 or 7 times my whole career. I'd say, oh yeah, I have absolutely nothing to paint. Every single thing I ever bought, I have painted. And it happened most often during my GW days because I kept fully painted armies for GW, and you know, you play your 3 or 4 armies, you paint them all up, and get to a point where it's like, well, you're just upkeep, right? Whatever the new kits are, when you buy your new kits, then you paint them up again. Which is super weird, right? Because now I can't even name a GW player that truly does paint everything. Don't get me wrong, then you get fully painted armies, but even in that case, a lot of times people are buying more than we need. I remember at the end of my GW days, I would buy stuff for armies I didn't have and be like, oh well, maybe I'll collect them or something, right? Never really worked out that way. Okay. Filigree is looking pretty cool. Definitely very bone. Yeah, you're very bone filigree. I'm gonna make his toga back to white. Toga, toga. You can even give a little bit of white on his like burned skin here, just to kind of help call it out a little bit. Love this guy. Find truth. Yeah, good year for Fangtooth in the fluff. Beat the shit out of Venom, and then he beats the crap out of Wendell too. He didn't kill Wendell. He just beats the crap out of him. And like the cool part about that story was like they described the crowd as being so eager to see these two giant bodies hurl themselves at at each other and try to determine who's going to come out on top. I'm going to have to. So let's Asher here. Right, just get some of that color back. There we go. Let's fill it up back there. Gotta love the Fangers, man. He's badass. Fangers is great. That's fun. That's fun, right? That guys like painting guys like this is what makes painting Guild Ball stuff so cool, right? Love that. Okay, let's move over to Grace. Like I said, with any luck, we'll have 4 of these done tonight. These are the 4 we want to get done. Basically, the actual church agents. Okay. All right, let's work on the filigree first. Grace is a really absolutely ruthless character in the fluff. She's actually quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in the fluff. She is really kind of messed up. Right? She's every bit as conniving as like an Obulus or a Piper. But she just works. She's just the other side of that coin, where it's like religious piety instead of the morticians and the rat catchers are, I would say, maybe even a little more honest about their ambitions. their machinations, whereas the order, the church, they're more cryptic in this regard. Yeah, we're just so. I'm gonna bring out her armor. It's very fine detail. I'm sure all of the GW guys are looking at these little medals as purity seals, right? Kind of treating this faction kind of like I don't know, Templars or something like that. I wouldn't argue it. Like, I wouldn't argue that appropriate comparison. Yeah. I'm sure like a GW player would look at Pride and go, oh, yeah. What's the faction that has a lion with all the purity seals on it? And that is exactly what a GW person would say. If you're a GW player. I'm gonna do a quick highlight here on the Union thing that she's bouncing off of. I don't know, maybe it's a Union headstone. I don't know what that is exactly. Whatever it is, I mean, it's kind of cool. So, if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're painting up some church, some order for Guild Ball. Church. Grace is a little bit harder to work with than the other pieces just because she's just a little more dainty, right? More delicate, smaller pieces, whatnot. So sometimes the shading, attacking the shading and highlighting, use a slightly different strategy on a smaller model like this. You can't get away with as much that you might get away with on a bigger piece. But even doing stuff like, you know, the detail around her little Sulpician symbols. In fact, there's a outline of this third bit of tabard here that I need to address. Right, there's a little border here I want to hit with some blue. Doesn't need to be much. I'm just trying to get the viewer to agree that that's a border there. That's all. Man. Pretty dang cool, though. So with these, you seal these before you put the grass down. Otherwise, you put the grass down, then you go to seal it. You kick on your airbrush, or you hit your, you hit that rattle can, and you've blown a bunch of grass all over your model and given it something to stick to. So you don't do that, kids. Don't do that at home. Do a little cleanup here. All right. I just want to clean up these areas here. Okay. All right. Let's work on the lion. The lion. Roar. The lion also has a little border here on its. What do you call this? Is this called a cloak? Or is it just like. What do you call this covering on the lion here? Is it a cloak? Is it like a robe? Woo! I was remarking the other night that I actually like this lion sculpt better than the limited edition one in terms of the sculpt itself. I still prefer the limited edition as a whole piece just because the plinth really does kind of take it into that way awesome mini category there. Hey, what's up, Jesus Hidalgo? Hola de Mexico. Hola. Hope you're having a good evening. So just painting a little guild ball here, right? Get this. What do you call this thing? Do you call it? Is it a tabard? It's not a tabard. It's just like a cloth for the lion. But what is it called? Let me know in the comments. What is this called? What is it called? I sure as hell don't know what you call it. I'm just going to call it the covering. The zarape? That sounds correct. We're going with that. Thank you, sir. That sounds right. I will not dispute that. That's really sad. The joke, you're joking. The kitty blanket? What do you call it? You were joking, but I was on board. Like I was totally willing to call it a zarape. I don't think they have historically covered enough lions in cloth to have a proper name. All right? Which is a shame because the few people who have done it need to be proud of their accomplishment. They need to be able to tell the rest of us what this shit is called when you actually, you know, when you're actually able to pull off something as crazy as I put fucking purity seals on a lion and threw a cloth on it and it didn't kill me. I'm still alive, right? There needs to be the person who did that, the first person, because you know somebody did it, right? How do I know somebody did it? I don't know. Have you watched like Caligula or like old 70s porn? When people used to, in the 60s and 70s, all these rich people had crazy exotic pets, right? They're like, we don't care. We're gonna go in the jungle. We're gonna catch a duck-billed platypus for you, sir. I'm a big movie mogul, and I deserve a crazy exotic pet like that. And they did that shit, and then they bring it back, and he's like, I think we're gonna call it Mipsy, and then we're gonna stick a Zarape on it. A what, sir? Yeah, we're gonna stick a Zarape on the lion. It's gonna be very exotic, right? We're gonna have them out in parties where everyone's doing cocaine. Like we're talking 70s here, so like crazy rich, film mogul or something. He wasn't the one to do it. He had assistants figure out how to get a fucking blanket on a lion and a bunch of purity seals. Like the assistant, that person needs to come up with what the hell this is called. There's somebody knows what the hell this is called. Somebody. Imagine how hard it was to put the face mask on, right? Like this is like imagine that. The hell first off, who the hell got a face mask on a lion? And then they're like, that's not enough. Throw a blanket on it. Or maybe maybe the blanket was unintentional, right? Maybe the entire goal was to get the face mask on. And part of getting the face mask on could have been, you know, throwing the lion under a tarp so that the lion, with the lion unable to see, maybe it's more calm, and you get a couple of handlers around it with you know, with sort of bone-shaped helmet. They put the bone-shaped helmet on the lion. I'm making all this shit up, but I don't know. Like, who goes about that? That's all I want to know. Who goes about that? I gotta be very subtle about this white highlight here, right? So this has got to be as thin as possible. Thin as possible, see? Now, buddy, I went and told my assistant to bring back a lion, see? To our party. Because we're going to have a raging party. There's going to be girls there, see? And girls in the 70s love exotic pets. They love exotic animals. And we're going to teach you how to play gill ball with a bunch of religious people. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, by the way. We're just painting shit. Okay? We're just painting. That's all we're doing. Relax. We're just painting the lion. Trying to figure out what the hell the blanket is called. The kitty blanket. Trying to figure out what do you call the kitty blanket? I don't know. Maybe you call it a kitty blanket. Maybe. Oh, he died. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, he's okay. And sticky tack has given up on the line there. And you can get the line to stick on there. Okay. Yeah. Put that there. You guys have any questions, any comments, any threats? Can be tuned out. They're like, the fucking line fell over. Not watching this shit anymore. Okay. Here we go with so I'm gonna put for now, let's get some of her blocked off. So we're gonna get her red hair down. Got a red hat, lady. Find it. Is it Beastie Brown? I think that's it. Hold on a second. No. So speaking of like exotic pets, who here has something other than a dog, a cat, or a fish that they'd like to share with us? Like who has a cool pet? I have a couple of cats, and but I also have a pair of crested geckos, right? And for Christmas, one of the things I bought was I bought a larger terrarium for my crested geckos. They're the family's crested geckos. My wife got them from a friend who bred them. Because my wife and my son really wanted to keep a lizard, and what happened was they caught a baby fence lizard outside. They caught a baby fence lizard outside, and then and this all happened while I was at work. They got a little. They bought a little terrarium for it, like not an actual terrarium, like a little half-gallon little plastic, one of those things that you might keep a hermit crab in. They got one of those, and they put sand in it, and they're like, we're gonna keep this this baby fence lizard. And my son was so excited about it, and and I don't remember exactly what happened, but let's just suffice it to say, the little guy didn't make it. Right? The little guy did not do too well. I tried to tell them what they should do, what they needed to do to keep the little guy around. They might have overdone it on the heating, and so little guy didn't make it, right? And so my wife didn't have the heart to tell my little 5-year-old what had happened. She told him that that he escaped, that he got away, but she wanted to be able to fill that hole in his little heart, as a lot of parents do with their kids. And she reached out to her friends that had bred a pair of crested geckos, and for me, I had kept reptiles, you know, earlier in life when I was a young man, as a bachelor. In fact, actually, when my wife first met me, when we first started dating, I still had my black and white tegu. Black and white tegu is a large carnivorous lizard from South America, and they grow to about 3 or 4 feet, and they live about just under 20 years or so. And I had my lizard Gamera. I've had her for, I want to say, about 16, 17 years. So she was already quite old when my wife and I started dating. She would come over to my place, and I'd have this giant lizard there. And you know, she my lizard died shortly after my wife and I got together. And then I hadn't kept any reptiles since then. But prior to that, I had kept a lot of, like, I kept white tree frogs, I kept leopard geckos, um, I had a Nile monitor at one point. I had I just had a bunch of stuff, right? I had a bunch of reptiles, and so I knew how to take care of reptiles. Um, and so with this leopard gecko, like, I'm kind of like back on that train again, right? How to keep all these pets. So yeah, so we've had them in a they were we've had them pretty much since they were born. They were couldn't have been like a week old when we picked them up and started feeding them, and now we've had them for let's see, it was July, so we've had them about uh about 5 months now, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and now we need to move them into a bigger aquarium or bigger terrarium, and we're going to keep them together because they're friends. And but this time, my plan is to kind of give my wife and my son control of what they're going to put in the terrarium, because you can grow. It's one of the cool things about crested geckos is, you can keep them in a terrarium with live plants. And my wife and my son love to do that. Like, they love to do gardening, and we live in a place that's not very conducive to that. Because we have association, and they get on us about trying to plant shit where we shouldn't, that kind of thing. So so I'm just gonna give them this little project here, and tell them, and I'll help them uh, determine what types of plants they could grow in the terrarium. But it's perfect too, because you have to go in and mist the terrarium like twice a day with these crested geckos in there, so they'll be able to grow plants at the same time. So I'm excited. Should be fun. What do you think? Little little seasoned brisket there. Always one of my favorite miniatures. Just as a let's give her um, you know, let's give her black gloves, because black is going to be one of the other colors, for at least for gloves and boots and stuff. It's going to be this like black gray. Actually, we might as well just do the whole. Yeah. the very clean look for them. I kind of want to, yeah, let's I'll paint the little tie here black. Right, because I want to do a little bit of a callback to her um like union outfit. Even though in the fluff she was technically always, when she left Butcher's, she went straight to the Order. So, hope everyone's done with their Christmas shopping. I sure as hell am, I think. I still I'm still like one of those guys that carries like a little extra cash on him just in case. Like, oh, this relative came over and suddenly, you know, I have to whip up something to give them for the holidays. It's like, here's some cash. Ah, it's almost like a family tradition. We did that. My mom always, my mom and my dad always have like a wad of cash in their pocket. My mom always kept it in an envelope and she would break it out when unexpected people would come over for Christmas. Because, like my family would always invite like 60 to 100 people come over our house for Christmas, and you never knew who would come. And that includes our kids. Like, oh man, sorry. They would know half the time when we would get there. Whew. Don't die. Don't die. Yeah, like I said, that's why this channel is losing viewers and subscribers because I've been out of commission for like 3 weeks, man. Just trying to shake this terrible flu slash cough slash pain in the ass, whatever you want to call it. Nice to ride along painting. What are you painting? Always curious to know what people who pop in on the stream are working on. If this were Twitch, I would tell you links are allowed, but I don't think links are allowed on the YouTube chat. All right. My main question with this model is, who the hell needs that many belts? Why do you need that many belts, Brisket? Right now, Walking Dead All Out War. A few Zombicide guest figures. Oh, cool. Simon stuff. Nelson brought out the Walking Dead All Out War stuff a few weeks back at our LGS. I had a look at it. It looked cool. Game looks pretty fun too. The pieces look pretty good as well. Decals. Oh, you're playing decals. Got it. Cool. So you can see, I mean, this is the color scheme we're going with there. Right. We're going to block off that. And then we'll do, oh, you're doing decals on the jackets. Okay, cool. See, just by doing the black gloves and boots, can pretty much finish Mist as well tonight, which will be cool. Do you play any Guild Ball? Or, you know, other miniatures games for that matter? Zombicide is a perennial favorite. My son and I like to play Zombicide. You know, he's very young, but he can get behind. He can figure out, like, he can at least understand kind of what he needs to do, attack a zombie, move a space, that kind of stuff. He can figure that out. Just Googled Warhammer 40k Walking Dead Zombicide. Okay. So yeah. So the black gray is a little bit of a throwback to their Union colors. They were like black, gray, and red. Well, like I said, I want to, you know, I think it's better to have a more unified set of team colors. One sec. I'm so sure I want to leave that so dark there. There we go. Just kind of brighten up that. Okay. Just want to kind of bring a little more brightness there to Grace. And then I can also highlight this on Mist. I think it's I think it's much cooler with this type of color scheme than that gray and the red. Never really liked the gray and red color scheme for Mist. And again, the main point here, keep it unified with the rest of the order models. So let's get the final highlights on this thing. That white down. What a fun piece. Fun model here. Good old chicken Mist. I like that. Okay. So normally I would probably push on a little bit more. You know, maybe do a little more work on, say, Harry and Spigot. Those are the two that didn't get much attention tonight. But I do have to get up early tomorrow morning, get a very long day, like I pointed out. So we'll call it here shortly. And then we'll pick up painting these again probably Friday night. Because tomorrow night I'm in a game. For a little while anyway. That's the plan. And game a bit tomorrow night. You know what? Let's go ahead and, before we shut down here though, let's finish. And then let's do we'll keep it all basically white, black, and blue. My high school alma mater colors. Oh, and I gotta, before I forget, gotta paint the bottom of this base brown as well. Pretty good progress tonight, though, I must say. Right, feel pretty good about where we're at. We are within striking distance of finishing this commission. In fact, if I had another probably hour and a half tonight, I could at least get most of it done. So not too bad. I'm really liking how the order armor is coming out. Let's we'll shoot past them real quick. Got some latecomers to the party. Welcome to Play It Painted Live, everybody who's tuning in. We are painting up an order guild for Guild Ball. Because the client has requested static grass as the basing option, I'm just painting in the brown here. We're going to let this all dry tonight. Then I've got to seal it. We'll spray a varnish on it. And then first we got to finish painting all these. Once we're finished painting all these, then I spray the varnish on it, and then we go ahead and do the flocking last. Man, I know I was bitching about it earlier, but there are better ways to get your basing, that look cooler, in my opinion. But it is what it is, right? I'm still hoping they should look decent. A lot of woo, take your clothes off. What's up, Greenleaf? Always tuning in late, man. Always tuning in late. So Harry and Seasoned Spigot are the least complete at this point. Right? Let's put this away for a minute. But it's just, at this point, it's just minor detail stuff. It's not, there isn't huge amounts of stuff left to do. So Harry probably being the least done. Need to do his hat, gonna do the bracers, gonna do the boots. Those are all gonna be black. He's got a little gold sensor around his neck there, and chains, and you gotta highlight all this. He also has Molotovs on he's got like a harness here with a back brace. So you gotta do that. Gotta do a little more detailing on the wrench. Right? So we didn't really touch him or Seasoned Spigot. Spigot has he kind of has this weird like surcoat here like a leather surcoat. So that's probably going to be brown. He'll have black boots, black bracers, just like the rest of them. He's, you know, not, and then obviously we have to highlight all the filigree and all the white parts of his robe. Then Season Brisket, she's looking better. She's coming along. I think I need to figure out something there with her kind of corset. And she's looking all right. She's coming along. So there's Brisket. Mist is essentially done. Not much left to do on Mist there. He's cool. And then you got Pride. Rawr. Rawr. Pride is cool. A couple things left to do on him. Grace. Fun paint all around. Ooh, looks like I gotta clean up a thing there. We'll take care of that. And then the big boys. Absolutely love V Fangtooth. Super fun. Might do a little bit more with his sores. They look okay as is, but he's basically done. We're just gonna do the basing on him. And then last but definitely not least, we got Benny here. Just looking pretty sharp. Fangtooth looks so brutal. Thanks, Stan. Yeah. It's a fun guild to paint. It is. Yeah. Especially, once you decide, like I decided with the client that we're gonna stick with the more of like a pure order theme. So instead of doing him red and black, we're gonna do him to where they actually match the rest of the team. I think that's the best way to do it. So, anyways, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go to bed, guys. So, but we will pick up again Friday night. I will continue. We'll finish these up. We will finish Friday night. We will finish these Friday night and be good to go on this order team. So with that, we're just gonna call it here. Want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.